Hello everyone, my name is Aviel Parente and this is the Light of the Torah. Last week's Parsha was Parshat Shemot. It's the commencement of the Exodus story. It is the Jews being enslaved in Egypt. It is the story of Moshe Rabbeinu and his call to action at the burning bush, Hashem appearing to him in the burning bush. It is Moshe Rabbeinu returning to Mitzrayim to deal with the Jewish people, known at the time as the Hebrews, to deal with Paro. And every time that Hashem talks to Moshe, last week, Moshe comes up with these excuses, constantly saying, I can't do it, I'm not worthy, I lack the skills, I'm not fit for the job, and on top of it all, I don't have good speaking skills, I'm hard of speech. And then this week's Parsha, Parshat Vayera, it starts with the same thing. Hashem tells Moshe, go to the Jewish people, free my people, go to Paro, tell him to let my people go. And Moshe again says, the Jews didn't believe me. How is Paro going to believe me? And on top of that, my speaking is not good. And to that Hashem says, let Aharon, your brother, help you. Let him be your spokesperson. Let him be your mouth. And so Moshe and Aharon go to Paro, deliver the message of Hashem. There's the scene between Aharon and Moshe performing magic tricks, essentially, and the Egyptian sorcerers also performing these tricks. And they go back and forth. And then Paro and the Egyptians get warned that plagues will strike them. And in this week's Parsha, we read about the first 7. This week is not unique to any other week. There are a lot of things that could be discussed, questions that people have. But I'd like to focus on one question. Whenever Hashem tells Moshe to go and to be his messenger, Moshe's ultimate rebuttal is, I don't have good speaking skills. Hashem appears to him in a burning bush. Hashem gives Moshe these tricks, these supernatural capabilities. Hashem last week even told Moshe that I've made you master over Paro. Hashem creates 7 plagues. Why couldn't Hashem just give Moshe the ability to speak? Now, obviously, this question of why does Hashem do certain things or why doesn't Hashem do certain things at certain times is a very ambiguous question and can be asked in any situation throughout all of history. And I don't want to really discuss the philosophy behind that. Rather, I'd like to focus on the message that can be learned from the fact that Hashem deliberately did not fix Moshe's speech. The common answer that is given is that had Moshe been a good speaker, people could object to his leadership and say, Moshe, the only reason your leadership worked was because you were a smooth talker. You were able to speak well and you have no other leadership qualities. And that's why Moshe is lacking in that field. So that way we can focus on all of his other leadership attributes. For me, I don't find that answer particularly sufficient. But I don't think an answer is important. I don't think that it's relevant. Again, it's a much broader question that I don't think we'll ever have an answer for. And so I don't want to focus on any answer. Rather, I'd like to focus on the lesson that we can take away from this. Every time that Moshe says, my speaking isn't good, I can't speak, Hashem pushes him further and says, no, you're going to do it because I'm telling you to do it. I need you to do it. You're my messenger. And every time Moshe listens and listens, and again Moshe objects and says, I'm not good at speaking. And Hashem tells him, use Aharon as a spokesperson. And the story continues and continues as we know. And eventually Moshe overcomes this barrier, this obstacle. The issue that Moshe had wasn't that he couldn't speak. It was that he didn't have self-confidence. He wasn't confident enough in himself. Hashem is using Moshe to teach us that sometimes when we aren't feeling confident in ourselves, we need to be able to push ourselves slightly past our boundaries, slightly out of our comfort zones, because otherwise we'll never see any improvement to ourselves, to our lives. If Moshe never tried to be a leader, he would always struggle with speaking. But fast forward to the 5th book in the Chamisha Chumshei Torah, it's Moshe's address to the Jewish people. He literally spoke for an entire sefer, for one of the 5 books. So going from somebody that didn't want to speak, that was afraid of speaking, to somebody that addresses an entire nation of hundreds of thousands of people, That's a big change. And so the struggle with our weaknesses will help us build our strengths. I think there's a second subliminal message in this story that's overlooked a lot. When Hashem tells Moshe, use your brother Aharon, it seems to be like an obvious answer. Like, if you can't speak, go get somebody that can. But again, it's something that we all struggle with. I can say for myself, I am an independent person. I like to do things on my own. I like to take initiative, and if people are trailing behind me, or if people aren't able to keep up, or if I'm not able to keep up, I'm going to do my own thing. And it's something that I struggle with. Teamwork is not my forte. But the story with Moshe and Aharon is the idea that we need allies. We can't just do things on our own. Doing things on your own is not a feasible option, especially if you're a leader, but as a general rule. And with that, I wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom.